And you know, it started to come right away. So I dried my hands and sat down in the robe. It took me about 20 minutes. And what I'm going to read for you now is the result of that. And it's called Treasures of the Heart. Put me in music. There we go. Mary and her husband went to Bethlehem one day. Their journey was a hard one, but their taxes were to pay. The donkey carried Mary on, and to himself he said, I must get her to Bethlehem, where she can find a bed. The little one is coming soon. His time is very near. I know, because an angel whispered, hurry, in my ear. I'm weary and I'm thirsty and I'm hungry for some hay. We must get to Bethlehem. There's no time for delay. They reached the little town that night, and Joseph tried and tried to find a cozy room which had a nice soft bed inside. There wasn't any place in town that Joseph hadn't been, but everyone kept telling him there's no room at this inn. And so at last the stable was the place they had to stay, and their nice soft bed was just a great big pile of dusty hay. An ox, which stood there watching them, said, what a glorious night. The Christ child will soon be here, and I'll get to see the sight. He said, I only wish that I could build things like a man. I'd build that child a cradle of acacia wood so grand I'd carve it full of cherubs, and I'd sand it smooth inside. And when they laid him in it, well, my heart would burst with pride. A little lamb which stood close by said, here's what I would do. I'd shear my finest wool to make a blanket soft and new. The palest shade of ivory for the precious one, so pure, but bordered in deep scarlet for the suffering he'll endure. I'd weave in golden leaves and at the corners purple bows to symbolize his royalty, if I had hands to sew. The donkey answered both and said, God made us as we are, and we must do with what we have, for he knows best by far. Friend ox, you have a muzzle, which is nice and smooth and wide. Why don't you fix the manger for the babe to lay inside? The ox plumped up the hay, and then he smoothed it with his head. And so in his own way, he made the baby's manger bed. Oh, little lamb, you have a gift, the ox quite loudly cried. Just nudge that trunk lid open, and you'll find it there inside. A pure white piece of swaddling cloth is neatly tucked away. The mistress wove it from your wool she shared one summer's day. The little lamb leapt high for joy, and she gladly took it out and laid it down at Mary's feet, then proudly looked about. But then the ox and lamb looked sadly at their donkey friend. Their hearts were heavy, for they knew he had no gift to lend. What will you give? The lamb asked, for he has a manger bed, and I gave him my swaddling cloth, just as the ox has said. What is there left to give him now that he has all these things? Dear friend, what do you have for him that's fit to give a king? The donkey slowly smiled and said, I brought him here today. I suffered thirst and hunger as I walked the weary way. I followed Joseph faithfully to every inn in town and finally led them here when everyone had turned them down. The Christ child will soon be with us this blessed Christmas morn, because I brought his mother here so that he might be born. And when he's old enough, without a moment of delay, as I'm the new king's chariot, I'll carry him away. And so herein we find a precious lesson for us all. It matters not if Christmas gifts are humble, plain, or small. The cost is unimportant, for the real gifts to impart are kindness, love, and sacrifice, the treasures of the heart.